Hello, I'm a man in the suit and... No. No. No, do you hear me? No! I won't do it! I can't! No! Please! No, I won't! You're not going anywhere, are you? You're gonna... Fine. I'm a man in a suit, and this is the Dino Charge review.
Are you on the list?
No, but I believe my friends are. Perhaps you know them. Franklin, Grant, and Jackson.
All right, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to a very special edition of Toku Toy Time. Normally, we do it bi-weekly on Wednesdays. This is so important, though, because it needs to be reviewed as soon as possible. We have the first Power Rangers Dino Charge Megazord in our hands. I found it at a local Toys R Us when a friend of mine, Eric Berry of Power Ranger Command Hour, decided to go out and look at his local Toys R Us and found Dino Charge toys. Well, that inspired me to go look, and lo and behold, we had just this one, just the one. But that is more than enough for me because I usually don't even care about the American toys. After having had the Japanese, I'd much rather buy them. But being a huge fan of Kyoryuger as I am, I have to see what this is like. So first we'll take a look at the packaging. On the top you've got the Power Rangers Dino Charge logo right there, ages 4+. Come around on here, you've got 3 Zords, Zord Builder compatible of course. They all combine. You know, the Tyrannosaurus, the Stegosaurus, and the Triceratops. That's probably what their names are just going to be. I mean, we've seen the back of Zudenchis where they've got Paracephalodon and Velociraptor, and I can confirm that this one says Tyrannosaurus Rex. Down here, you've got Brennan as, you know, Kyoryu Red or Dino Charge Red. Over here, you've got, you know, Gabutira, Drysera, Stegochi, Dino Charge Megazord. Come around to the side. Nice photo of the Dino Charge Megazord or Kyoryuzen. You've got Charge It Up on the back. That really nice image from the show of right after transformation. You've got that you can put in the Zudenchis or Dino Chargers is what I'm going to guess they're called, to pop up the little spike, open up his hair, and then fly out the tail. And on the bottom, you've got, bring it in here, you've got the 2 others main Zords that will form Western. You've got the Dino Chasers. They can actually attach to it. And then you've got this weird sort of Red Ranger battle armor type looking thing that'll apparently be able to attach as any Zord Builder combination can. You've got the Collect Them All with all the different Zudenchis down here. And then on the side, this will be, of course, compatible with their card scanner app, which will now be apparently a Zudenchi scanner app, and then all the little different toys and things you can get. Now, this only comes with one of the Dino Chargers, the Zudenchis, but that's fine. It's good enough for this, and we kind of figured that's what they would do. So let's put the packaging over here, and we'll start by taking a look at Drysera, or Camille's new pink Zord, which thank God they made it pink after the fan outcry. So, if you take a look at it, it's okay. These are really light. They've got no weight to them. They're super light plastic. When you look at the legs, they can go all the way around. They've got no clicking points. They're just completely free to move. You've got very little of actual color on the tail. At the front, you've got the horns. Now, this whole back section actually comes off. I don't know why. This is how it comes in the packaging. Seeing as how it's always on her, it should not really come off, but okay. Now, the mouth does open to accept a Zudenchi. Now, as I said, this really only comes with, let me adjust the camera, this really only comes with one Zudenchi out of the box, and that is the Tyrannosaurus Rex Zudenchi. As you can see, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, at the front, you do have a QR code. If you can get any sort of focus on this. That's not going to happen. So that's how it's going to be scanned for their app. Now, when you press, you actually get a kind of halfway charge, full charge, depleting charge, no charge. When they announced that it was going to have 4 different sides, I was like, all right, sweet. You'll get the blank, you'll get the glow in the dark, which I haven't checked to see if this glows in the dark. Probably should have. And then you would get, you know, this side and then something else, I thought. I didn't think they'd do this kind of halfway. It's rather annoying because you can't just brave in. You got to hit it twice, but it's what they decided to do. To show you, though, that this does have the same feature, you push it in, it doesn't click, you just push and it pops out the tail. Now, they don't go all the way in, so you can't close it with a Zudenshi inside. They do just come out, like I said. They don't, well, they do click in. But the way to actually remove them is on the bottom, they've just got a little slider button that you slide it forward. And then you can just take it out, close the mouth, and you're done. So, to take a look at a comparison, here is actual Drysera. As you can see, we'll put her behind. It is a little bit smaller. It's just tradition now. You're going to have smaller Zords, but it's not that much smaller. The big difference you'll see is paint app-wise. You know, the yellow plastic on the tail. You've got the whole black from the horn assembly actually moving. Here you can see they've just got the horns molded into the front and then horns at the back so that it kind of looks like this when it's on the arm. I think the biggest crime to her is the head. You lose all of this silver that forms around her shield. So otherwise, it's not bad. The head's painted on both sides. The eyes will still look good on it. And then, like I said, at least they do keep, here's actual Drysera. They do at least keep the same function so that when you put in the Zudenshi and you press the button on the bottom, the tail still does pop out. But this one, at least, you can close around it. So, comparison, Japanese to American. Let's move on. Take a look at the Stegosaurus, Stegochi, Yoshi. All praise him. Sorry, had to. Okay, so, Yoshi Zord. Let's see what it's like. Well, for a Zord that really didn't have a whole lot of paint apps in the first place, they still managed to take some away. It's, again, it's okay. You've got the, well, you know, sword shield that pops off. But you do get the legs. They do rotate again all the way around. There's no locking, clicking point like the Japanese one. It's that same function. Can't close it with a Zudenshi in, but when you take the Zudenshi and you put it in, you do get it to pop up. We'll leave it where it is for the moment to compare something. But it's really about it. There's not a whole lot to the arm Zords. So we'll bring in actual Stegochi. As you can see, first off, again, size, a little bit smaller. Again, not terrible. Like I was saying, they did manage to take away some of the paint apps. You know, the same thing that's missing on Drysera is this little bit of yellow on the connecting point. The handle is now yellow instead of black. I like the black better because that way it blends in. It doesn't look like, you know, you're pooping yellow. They took away the silver piping on the shield and sword combination. But I'm at least very happy they kept the heads the way they should be. They've still got the silver piping. The eyes are really nice, so at least they did that. Now, when you put in Stegochi's Zudenshi, I just find it amusing that, you know, press the button, push it in. The difference in height of the spike and where it pops it to is just very amusing to me. It's whatever, their choice to do it how they do it. As you can see, they did take the coloring away from the blade altogether. That was kind of expected. So that's Stegochi, Yoshi Zord. We'll put them off to the side, and now we'll take a look at probably the best of the actual Zords from the set is, you know, Gabutira, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Brennan Zord. Now, this is, I hate to say it, I could like this form a little bit more than the Japanese one, only because of proportion-wise, and you'll see in a second. Talking about it first, you can see it's really just a lot of red. I don't mind it. I think it looks pretty okay. When you get it out of the box, the feet are detached. You just snap them on. You look at the head. Sculpt is nice. I like that the mouth is got this stiff joint to it so that it can stay open and roaring. you do lose electronics entirely. There is no electronic function like on the Japanese. You could press this all day long and nothing's going to happen. But I don't think it's bad. I think that this is actually a good one. If you were to rank them, Drysera is probably the worst, then Stegochi, but Gabutira comes out pretty okay with this. Now, when you compare him to the actual Gabutira, it's really hard to see size comparison. Try and show you. It's definitely smaller. It is what it is. As you can see, the paint on the tail, all of this silver, that's gone. You've got missing silver on the legs, in both here and underneath the tail. The tail is a lot smaller than on here, but again, I like that only because of proportion. This one kind of seems a little bit more stout and back heavy, where this one is much more streamlined with long legs, and I think that works better for the Tyrannosaurus than on Gabutira. I don't like that you've got the black head and this isn't black, because here it blends in the head so you don't really see it. Here it's like, well, it's the head, clearly. But again, I at least like that when you open this, you know, how it just flops on the actual, you know, American one now, it stays where you want it, so you can kind of have roaring poses. But, like I said, you do lose electronics, so you can take this Zudenshi, shove it in here. When you close it, it'll pop the head. We'll actually show you that on camera. Pop it up. Same thing goes on Gabutira, but when you brave in on him, do this one-handed as I'm holding the camera. And of course you can pop them up. So that's really the comparison of Brennan Zord, Gabutira, and the Tyrannosaurus. I really don't mind it. I think it's a pretty good representation. There's absolutely no paint on the back at all, where on Japanese, you know, it looks good from both sides. This, you really just want to display it this way, otherwise it looks kind of goofy. Just a big hunk of red. So, that is all the Zords individually. Now, normally I don't go through the process of showing you transformations simply because, you know, you'll figure them out. But this isn't so bad, and I do want to highlight a good feature that they did, and that's how they hid the head. You see, with the tail here, it's solid plastic. There's no hiding the headpiece inside. Instead, what they did is fold down this. And I'll say that I don't know if it should be this hard, but there's a little bump and a little receiver on the foot to hold the legs in place. And getting it to line up can be a pain in the butt, but either way. So now you've got this actually receives into here instead of being hidden by the tail. But, see, Zord Builder, it falls apart. But fold it up, spin them around, fold those down. Now, when you open up the legs, and you gotta do it right, there is where they put the helmet. And I think that's actually a pretty good way of hiding the helmet, rather than just saying, well, here it is, we can't put it in here, so you just have to keep it off to the side. At least they figured out how to put it in. So, flip up the head, put the helmet on. Now we'll bring in Stegosaurus, Stegochi, Yoshi, fold up legs, open mouth, shove it in. Now, I will, to take this out, here's the American Zudenshi. We'll put it in Drysera just to show this. So, close it. We'll open mouth. Open mouth. There you go. We'll shove it in, again, just to show it off. Does work. Now, we'll push it back out. Leave it in there. And they did at least make it so that on the inside here, there's the receptacle for the Zudenshi. You can actually go and shove it in with Zudenshi. So when you do get the other, two, pink and blue, you'll be able to have all three inside of it. But take the tail, put it on the back, and there is Dino Charge Megazord, aka Kyoryuzen. And it's not bad. I think that for the amount of colors that they took away, it still looks the way it should. You're not missing anything that you would really care about. I mean, these folding down, I didn't even notice when I first got Kyoryuzen, so that doesn't bother me too much. The main color schemes are there. You've got the yellow on the arms, the yellow underneath. You've got the silver piping. So what's really important is there. I don't like now that you've got the yellow horn shoving up into the under the tail. You're kind of missing some here, so now it's just a big red hunk. But you win some, you lose some. The biggest disappointment, though, is this. You can flip it up into a sword, but you can't fold it apart. And that really upsets me because, especially in the first like 4 or 5 episodes, this never even became a sword. It was just the shield. So it's rather annoying that it can't turn into the shield, but again, win some, lose some. Does hold it really well. Just shove it right in. And it looks nice. It's size appropriate, as it should be. I don't think there's really anything wrong with this Zord. But, you know, it's still Zord Builder. It still sacrifices things that I really like. So for me, I still prefer the Japanese. But we'll just take a look now, comparison-wise, to actual Kyoryuzen. All right. And here is Kyoryuzen. We'll set them both side by side. We'll just take a look at them. As you can see, when you really look at them, you can see, you can see the difference in the paint. Clearly, what is missing is a lot of black and a lot of like just yellow underneath here. We'll put his arm down so they're a little bit more even. I'm looking at them. So yellow connectors here kind of missing. So I don't know. That's not such a big thing to me. I like that these were black on the Japanese one, being red. There's so much black missing and so many of those secondary colors that it just seems more of like a blob rather than a mech. I really don't like solid colors, but again, that's me, and that's why I paid more to have the Japanese ones. When they first came out, I really liked these. I really liked the design, so I wanted them more. When you take a look at the arm, as you can see, we've got the shield form, and over here, we've got the sword form. There's what's missing. But of course, you know, you can turn this into the sword, fold those in, and now they're pretty even Steven. Take a look at them from the side. You can really start to see a little bit of the size difference coming into effect. I gotta say, this is also disappointing. It's got the triangles on here, and without that black, it doesn't look bad, a solid red head, but I really like the black accents. And again, it's all in accents, it's all paint apps. If that doesn't bother you, it shouldn't bother you. But I just want to point it out as a comparison. But either way, Kyoryuzen over here, because that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the idea of this Zord builder of the Dino Charge Megazord, and what do we think about it? Well, I really don't mind it. I think that if I hadn't bought the Japanese for the first time in a while, I'd actually be happy owning an American Megazord. It's $35 plus tax. It's not that bad. You know, the ability to pop off limbs and then shove them onto your own feet, like so. I mean, that's amusing to me. Oh, I've got leg feet, leg arms, stuff. It's weird. Guys, help. You know, that's amusing, and I don't mind it. I think that overall, this is a fun toy. I'd recommend it. I'd say if you really want it, you can get it. I will point out, though, that on the headpiece in this one, it came, and I did try and fix it, but it looked worse. When they put this is a separate plastic, soft plastic. When they took it and they put it together, it got caught in the machine, so one horn is kind of really goofy, wacky looking. It's definitely something you could see when you're picking out your toy from inside the packaging. So take a look. You'll probably be able to tell if this is goofy, and you can get a better one. But being the only one, and probably the only one for a long while, I was like, I need to buy it, need to review it. So that's it for the Dino Charge Megazord. If you like what you saw and want more, please click the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and favorite the video. And if you want to see a specific review, comment below. You can follow us over at Facebook. Details are in the description again. Once again, this has been Brock of Midwest Tokusatsu and Toku Toy Time, and we're out. All right, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed our very special review of the Dino Charge Megazord. It was a great find. I'm happy to have it. But you want to know what's even better? Is giving it away. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it away to you, the fans of Midwest Tokusatsu and the followers of Toku Toy Time. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. We want to see the channel grow. So if you would like to enter for a chance to win this wonderful Megazord, all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, Midwest Tokusatsu, and comment on this video with what you're most excited to see in Power Rangers Dino Charge in February. It could be an actor, it could be something that you want to see come over from Kyoryuger, it could be anything you would like. Just leave a comment below. The only restriction is you must be 18 years or older to enter for the contest. Sorry, we have to do it. But do those two things, you'll be entered. We'll choose a winner this Saturday night, and the contest will run through Friday at midnight. So thank you again for following us at Midwest Tokusatsu. Remember to check us out on our Facebook page to see all of the updates of everything we're doing. And keep an eye out on our YouTube channel as we're working to get more content out there besides just toy reviews. Again, thank you so much.